which is the most important thing we are talking about in this whole manifestation situation. It's the vibrational frequency that we are living. Okay, it's been so long since I've sat down to film a video. I am in a vibe, in a space that has been interesting, to be honest. It all started from my period and then was down a hill from there. But I'm back, and I kind of found myself being like, starting to worry about what people were thinking. And then I needed to remind myself that I don't and shouldn't give a f. So thank you for rejoining me in this space. I want to talk about manifesting, because since my very first video, so many things have come true from my manifestations, and I want to share 3 books that have helped this. To start off with, back in the day I watched The Secret, and that changed everything for me. Just how they like promote it as the secret, and it's so intriguing. Is this lighting good or is it bad? Should I take my hair out? Do a bit of that. Give it a bit of pizzazz. That's alright, it's not bad. So basically I want to talk about this thing that I began to cultivate more and more the more and more I learned about really what the law of attraction is. And it wasn't through that first documentary that I watched that I learned this. It was through learning about other practices and spirituality to become more in tune with yourself. And this one thing is gratitude, and it really has changed my life. So many things that I share on this channel are things that have changed my life, and that is why I'm sharing them. Gratitude is such a big one, because when you're grateful for things, it creates more room for things to come into your life. And it's not just saying that, not acknowledging when things aren't great, but it's finding spaces where you can be grateful for things. And the more and more I started cultivating that over the years, the more I found myself in spaces and places that helped me learn and grow. So that's that real shit. That's that real moon shit. First of all, I'll do it in order of the books that I read. The order of the books that I read them in. The order that I read the books in. Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm so shocked that I was able to read this in the space of time that I did, but it's because the information is so fascinating to me. I think also being in a space where you're ready to retain and have space for that information really helps. And I have definitely been in places for years and years where I couldn't read because I didn't have the space in my brain to take in more. So if you're in that space, I totally feel you. The best thing to do when you want to learn though, and don't have the space to read, watch videos like YouTube videos or documentaries on people talking about these topics that you're interested in. There's so much of the help I got was through YouTube videos. What's crazy is the foreword is by Greg Braden, and I heard of Greg Braden years ago, and he talks about the divine matrix. And so the divine matrix is this space in between us, and there are vibrations and how we can change things depending on what we feel and what we can create. Now, what is amazing about this is if this is where you're just beginning, then that's just that. It's where you're just beginning. Like, it's only the beginning of so much of what you can learn. Like, I am sitting down to make this video because I was like, oh damn, I have 3 different books on 3 similar yet different approaches to manifestation. There was one day where I just knew the secret and that's it. And now I have all this information that I can share, and it just shows me that, damn, 6 years ago I was learning about this stuff. 10 years ago I was learning about this stuff and had only touched the tip of the iceberg. And now I'm like, oh my god, there's so many things. So he really goes into the neuroscience, the neurobiology. This book, he's talking a lot about changing your energy, like your actual energy in your body, by so many different practices. So for example, a lot of you maybe have heard of vision board, and he takes vision boards to another level. So like mind movies or manifestation movies or something like that, and it's where you create a movie using like stock footage or something like that, or something from your present or past, and curate it into a movie, a minute long. And through watching that, let's say you put like this really uplifting, inspiring song to it. When you watch that, you are moving into a state of elevated emotions. And that is what he talks about a lot in this, is moving into a state in your body, out of stress and into gratitude and love. I swear to God, there's too much in this book. He goes into different meditations that you can do, like they've done brain scans and stuff on people before they go into this meditation, as they're falling very deep into it and as they're coming out, and how this really shifts your biology in your body. Insane. So that was the first proper book that I read on manifestation. I love spirituality. I love science, and I've always felt that there is a way that these two come together. I think that more and more people are accepting that today. One of these people is Joe Dispenza. Spirituality to me is just learning to get to know yourself and the world better, and he does something really amazing with these findings. So I'm gonna flick to a page and see if it, okay, 1, 2, 3. Case studies. There's a lot of case studies, so a lot of like proven people with chronic pains, chronic illnesses, difficulty achieving and fulfilling the things that they want to fulfill in their lives. It's mad. The book that I'm currently reading, which I will speak about at the end, they're very, very similar, but also very different in how they explain things. And I think that is why it's so important to read all the different things and take all the different things from it and see, like this one, a lot of science in it, a lot of brain scans, a lot of graph. We're gonna put the glasses on. Oh, okay. The benefits of heart coherence. If you are feeling an elevated sense of well-being in a safe environment, the energy of those feelings sets in motion a cascade of at least 1,400 biochemical changes in the body that promote growth and repair. And then my little note is, it is natural for people with a happier upbringing to keep this going. And I 100% believe that. I also believe that we can learn with a lot of practice. I'm going to read this next bit. Instead of drawing from the invisible field of energy around your body to transform into chemistry, now you're adding to and expanding that field, resulting in a new expression of chemistry reflective of the change in energy. How? If the first 3 energy centers of the body, energy centers, chakras, you see the language used is just different. This is way more scientific. The first 3 energy centers of the body are consumers when we are out of balance. The heart is an energy expander, and when you rest your attention in your heart to create and sustain elevated emotions, that coherent energy causes your heart to beat like a drum. The stronger the coherent rhythm of the heart, the more expanded your field becomes. So it's really amazing. And when I was reading this, the important thing about the case studies is that it makes you feel like it's possible for you. And all I'm saying is, if you're intrigued and you want like a slightly more not airy-fairy understanding of really, if you've heard of any manifestation stories and you think, how the but it literally happened for them, and you want to know and understand maybe on a neuro, this is the book for you. I'm telling you, Becoming Supernatural. And so when I read this book, I definitely was like so in a space in my life where I felt like I couldn't fully embody these things because I wasn't in the environment that was necessarily supportive of this. But now reading my current book is allowing me to see what I kind of could have got out of this book. But hey, it all comes full circle. So that's that. The next book I read was The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Rhonda Byrne is the lady who wrote The Secret, and then the documentary was adapted from the book, and this one is a bit more airy-fairy. So there's no like scientific evidence in this book at all. There's no case studies or anything. She has a whole series. The Magic is a wonderful book because it teaches you part of the trick to manifesting things in your life, and it is gratitude. It's a lovely 28-day practice. By this means you will acquire the glory of the world. Is it true? The emerald tablet. Oh, there's so many lovely things. Like, one word changes everything. Gratitude, being grateful for things that come into your life. It's lovely. I don't have too much to say about this book, but it's just a really nice way to keep you grounded and present and aware of the blessings in your life. It's just nice. If you want a little bit more positivity in your life, but you don't want to rely on other people to give that to you, this is a really nice way. And there was months of my life during lockdown where every day I would wake up and write 10 things that I was grateful for, and struggled to sometimes. That's a really nice book, The Magic. And I love just seeing it, so I keep this. There's a certain stack of books that I just keep at my desk when I'm working, and The Magic is one of them because it reminds me, ooh, I just got goosebumps. It reminds me that we can manifest anything. We can, good or bad, we can manifest into our lives through intention. I'm gonna get to the game changer of a book for me, and I'm still not finished. The energy codes. And I'm getting a bit sad because I'm reaching the end. One of my friends suggested this book to me. As I said, it's very similar to Becoming Supernatural, but it's almost written in the in-between of The Magic and Becoming Supernatural. So it combines the two worlds of science and spirituality together. A lot of the practices in this book, so that's the really important thing. Every single one of these books that I have mentioned promotes practicing, moving into doing these things instead of just thinking these things. And the only way these things work is if you do them, or at least if you try them, and then you can decide for yourself. There's a lot of beautiful breathing exercises that you can do in this book. I'm going to flick to a page in this book and see. When we reject something, oh, this book is so good. Okay, I think you'll understand what I mean. If something happens that is so upsetting that the thalamus and hypothalamus stop talking to each other, even in part, we lose the ability to consciously control and direct our lives. In this case, whatever is hiding beneath the trap door of the subconscious is running us, despite what we do consciously. We experience this as something that is not working the way we, consciously, want it to. This is the beauty of our system. What is hidden seeks to be revealed and drives us to awaken. When we reject something, it doesn't just go away. Rather, we send it through the trap door into the subconscious, where it, at least in part, becomes hidden to us, until we open the trap door to look in there and make it known. Even if that happens at the energy level and not at the story level, it's going to remain there, in charge, driving our thoughts, our decisions, and our physiology, and our vibrational frequency, which is the most important thing we are talking about in this whole manifestation situation. It's the vibrational frequency that we are living on. What Greg Braden goes into, this energy, this space between us, this space between me and the camera right now. This space is not empty. Sound is traveling through this space. Light is traveling through this space. It's traveling on waves. Another way of saying this is, if we don't agree with what's happening, we stop being present. We think about how it should be and defend ourselves, or write a new story to make ourselves the victim. This book is such a perfect amalgamation of the things that I really am learning with spirituality, psychology, and science. This is where it's at, and it is has wonderful breathing practices, breathing exercises that teach you to. So if you practice yoga, squeezing your mula bandha up as you breathe and keeping your energy in your body and in this central line where your key 7 chakras are. Her whole book is the 7 energy codes that, you know, that's just like a woo-woo name for it, but they're practices, learning how to clear your energy, how to shift your energy, how to channel your energy into one space and create the life that you want. And if this is the first you're hearing of this kind of thing, this is going to sound absolutely crazy to you. If it's not the first time you're hearing of it, I think you understand that you need to get this book. I didn't want to get too much into every single book. I just wanted to give you like an overall, because it would be awesome if you bought these books, because these people have put work into it, which is amazing. Of all of them, this one has impacted me the most, but the only reason it's impacted me the most is because of all of the information that has come before it. And I think that's a nice lesson to take in life as well, that everything that you learn is on top of what you have known before, and everything is of value. Every experience is of value. And actually, this is the final book that I wanted to share that someone else has written. I wrote a book. No, I'm joking. I will though. Stay tuned. Poetry book pending. So this is my manifesting book of magic. Yes, it's Book of Magic. This is a very special book that I decided to have alongside my regular journal, and I write in this one more now, which is amazing. And as Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this, moving into a state of elevated emotions. Actually, ever since I read this book, I put a reminder on my phone at 3 p.m. every day as a reminder to say elevated emotions. And so every time I see that, man, it has come up when I have been like sad, dark, and I've seen that and I'm like, I have the power to shift my reality by shifting what's happening in my neurobiology. And obviously stress hormones create dis-ease in the body. Happy hormones create ease and flow. Also, I did it. It's a book, and I write in this state of elevated emotions. When I'm writing in it, I believe what I'm putting. I believe it, man. Trust me. Like, And in turn, when I'm writing these things that I want in my life. I have spoke to friends and told friends about these things that have been manifested into my life. People who don't really believe it, and they are like, what the f-? Also, you need to remember that there's things that you need to put the wheels in motion to actually be able to get the fruits. So it's not just like, I'm just gonna sit here and be like, manifest. There's I don't know where this saying comes from. Oh, was it in Eat, Pray, Love? I'm imagining Julia Roberts saying that this guy was praying. Oh, he was like, please, please, please let me win the lottery. And then God's just like, please, please, please buy a lottery ticket, you know? So you need to actually put these wheels in motion, and then the rest comes. You know, my mum used to say, God only helps those who help themselves. Damn, that shit hits hard. When she first said it, I was like, well, that's just bullshit, because then God isn't helping me, I'm helping myself. And it's like, you are God, baby. So this book, I basically just write down all the things that I but it's like scripting. So if you don't know what scripting is, check it out on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure you'll find something. But you're writing down how you feel. What is this ideal day like? How do you want to live your life? And write down your ideal day bit by bit, but really focus on the feeling. So some people talk about focusing on what things look like, the little details. Other people talk about not focusing on the little details. I prefer not focusing on the little details and instead focusing on just purely my feeling and the gratitude and ecstasy and amazingness that I feel when these things come into my life. And lordy, the things that have come true, especially this remote job thing and just the view that I have, and it's just a bit weird sometimes. It's like, oh shit, I did this. It's not a joke. So I recommend, if you want to test out manifesting, get a journal where you write down And I write in this in a way that I'm so grateful for this. You have to be in the time space as though these things have already happened. And basically what that does is tells your photons that are creating your reality that you're in this new space that you wanted, and you're feeling how you wanted to feel, and that creates your reality. I literally, it's so hard for me to articulate these things, but if you know, you know. And if you would like to know, I recommend reading any one of these books. I hope you understood that. I hope you enjoyed that. One incredible thing I would love to share with you guys as well is that my tote bags have been released. I have tote bags. At this moment in time of filming, they're not here yet. They get here tomorrow. Can't believe it. I'm very nervous. I'm very excited. This is one of the things I was manifesting, and this could to you be something like, well, what does, just buy the tote bags, you know? But to have the money to buy the tote bags, to have the idea of what I want on the tote bags, and for it to become that's a manifestation. Everything is a manifestation. This bottle, someone had an idea, they wanted a bottle, and then they manifested it into reality. That is what manifestation is. Just because it's with situations doesn't make it any less real than manifesting a bottle. Doesn't mean that it has to pop up out of nowhere. But it would be cool if that happened. If you want to check out my website, it's linked down below. Buy a tote bag. Buy a tote bag. Go on, support me. It would be really amazing. Go walk around with your bag with a skeleton that's holding flowers, and also put flowers in the bag and walk around and be like, yes. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that I finally filmed this video. I hope it was enough insight for you to maybe learn something about this book. I'm probably talking a lot of gibberish to a lot of you. However, someone somewhere is going to understand this, and I vibe with that. We're just going to keep it going. I can't wait to finish this book. Buy the books. Buy the tote bags. Buy the journal. One day I'll also make a journal where I can give you journal prompts. It's going to be called Manifesting Book of Magic. What else? Thank you. Oh, please like this video if you enjoyed it and you found some value, or you laughed, or you smiled, or whatever. Subscribe, and it really does help. It helps to show me that what I'm doing is valued, so that would be awesome. And what's the other one? I don't really say to share, but you can share if you want. Share it with a friend. Oh, my iPhone literally met its tether just then, right at the end where I said share it with a friend. So I wanted to show you my setup because it's so cute. Isn't it so pretty? So I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.